Hi, welcome back to Soul Food. A lot of times people come up to me and they ask me about lobster. So today, right now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you something about this lobster that we have here. And if you take a look at it, you can see that it is beautiful, huge piece of lobster that we have. I'm going to show you how to prep it for something that we're going to use it, but I want to show you another presentation that you can use as well. First thing that you want to do is take your lobster tail, and this is a warm water lobster tail, by the way. You want to take your kitchen shears in your hand, and you want to come down, turn it over, and you want to take your shears and go right underneath your lobster, just like this. But now you don't want to cut all the way down, okay? You want to stop right here at that last segment, okay? Then you want to turn it over, and you want to start to cut that shell. Now be patient and be very, very careful, because if you force it, the kitchen shears can possibly go all the way through, and then you can cut your hand, which will not be a good thing at all, okay? So once again, on the top side, you want to go just like you did on the bottom, and you want to stop right before you get to that last segment. Now what you want to do is take your lobster tail, and you want to take and just pull the shell apart, just like this. Look at that, okay, for presentation, right? So what you can do now is season this up. You can butter it up however you want to do and place it on the grill. And this right here will be a great presentation for any of your guests. But we're going to take it a little bit further today, okay? Now, what we're going to do, another presentation that you can do, is take the shell off. And as you see, it pops right off. And then you come back and take the other side off. And because we didn't cut all the way down into the tail, you still have something for the tail to be anchored on. Next thing that you want to do is to take your lobster and to slice it straight down the middle, like so. And now you have it where it can be spread apart. Now, once you do that, again, you can grill this, you can saute it, and even if you decide to deep fry it, it's going to be a wonderful presentation, because what's going to happen is the proteins in here are going to start to coagulate, which means to draw up, and when you finish frying it, your lobster tail will be standing up just like this and fanned, real nice and pretty. Wonderful, wonderful presentation. But again, we're going to go a little bit further with it. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can use it just like you would shrimp. You can take your knife once again, turn your lobster tail over, finish cutting it right down the middle, just like so. Okay, cut through that shell, and now you have two pieces of your lobster that you can treat just like some shrimp if you wanted to. And again, it will curl right up in another nice presentation that you can use. So we've given you about 3 different ways that you can actually use this lobster, but let's jump right into exactly how we want to do it today, okay? So now, once you've gotten your lobster all nice and cut up, okay, and split, the first thing that you want to do is go inside and you want to rinse it out and get that vein out of the middle of it, okay? So that's what we'll do. As you're rinsing it, of course, you're thinking about, wow, what am I going to actually do with this lobster? But what we're going to do today is we're going to actually saute it in some nice brown butter. But before we saute it, we're going to go and take and put some nice seasonings on it. We have some Japanese 5-spice seasoning that we're going to use. We also have some powdered ginger and some Creole seasoning as well. Now, we're going to go ahead and remove the tail from both lobsters, just like so. And then we're going to take and cut it up into some nice pieces. Okay? Just like this. Now, when you're cutting, one thing that we've always learned is that you have that claw hand that you always keep closed in, so that you make sure that you don't cut your fingers. And you can rough chop this lobster. And of course, your lobster doesn't necessarily have to be gigantic like this, but I kind of wanted to show off for you a little bit. So once you cut your lobster up, just like you have here, the next step will be to take it and put it inside of your mixing bowl, and then we'll add our seasonings. Okay, wash our hands, and then we'll go ahead and get ready to start seasoning. Now, before we season, what you want to do is take some unsalted butter, You want to put it inside of your pan on low so that it can already go ahead and start to melt. But you don't want it to go high because, of course, you know butter has a very, very high burning content, a high burning temperature, which means it'll burn fast. So you don't want to ruin your pan. So you go ahead and put your butter in and just let it melt real nice and easy, slow and low, right? So now our next thing is we're going to take our Creole seasoning and we're going to add that in. And this is to taste. But today I'm actually using about almost two teaspoons of our Creole seasoning. We're going to use one teaspoon of our Japanese 5-spice. And then we're going to use maybe a quarter of a teaspoon of powdered ginger. And we have that in. And then, of course, you know, we're not going to mix with spoons here. We like to get all the way in it. That's all a part of being in what? The soul food kitchen. So you want to take your hands and mill it around, get all of that flavor in. And if you think that you need a little bit more, then what do? Add a little bit more. So we're going to add just a little bit more of our Creole seasoning and a little bit more of our Japanese 5-spice in and put that around just like so. And then we'll wash our hands. And as you see, our butter is still melting, but now we can go over and start to turn that heat up so that we can really turn the heat up and start cooking this lobster. So what we'll do is go ahead and take and put our pan around a little bit and get that butter going all over our pan. Turn our heat up a little bit. And once it gets going, then we'll add our lobster in. One thing that I like to do when I'm basically melting my butter is I like for it to brown a little bit. And if you can see, just a little bit, it's starting to brown just a little bit. And when it does, that gives a real nutty flavor. And the reason it starts to brown is because the milk solids go to the bottom of the pan and they start to burn a little bit, or brown a little bit, so to speak. Now, what that does is it gives you, like I said, that nutty flavor that you want. So now that's a whole nother flavor component that you're going to add into that well-seasoned lobster that we've already put together. And as you see, here it is. It's starting to go. And you want to make sure that you catch it before it starts to burn. Now, there it is. If you can just take a look, you can see the little brown spots in there. And that's exactly what we want. We want that brown butter. Next thing we're going to do now is take that wonderful lobster and put it right inside of our pan. Just like so. Turn up our heat a little bit now that we have our main ingredient inside. And we're going to saute our lobster. Now you want to saute your lobster for at least, when you have one that's about this size and the pieces that are about this big, it's normally going to take you about 2 to 3 minutes to go ahead and saute it until it becomes opaque or until it's done. And as you see, you can already see some pieces of our lobster that is already starting to turn opaque. Now to this, you can always add something like a little soy sauce to it if you want to. You can add a little lime juice, which is exactly what we're going to finish it with today. And then this preparation, once this lobster is done, it can be used in so many different ways. You can take this and actually put it inside of a frittata if you want, if you're doing a nice brunch. You can put it inside of an omelet. You can make a sandwich out of it. It makes a wonderful grilled cheese sandwich, okay? So just to try to do something different sometimes. Now you're going to turn your heat down just a little bit. Continue to go ahead and saute it. Next thing we're going to do is take some of our fresh limes. We got a whole fresh lime here, and we're going to squeeze that in to finish it off. And what that's going to do, it does two things. It adds flavor, but then it also deglazes the bottom of your pan. Deglazing is when you have that small amount of the brown stuff that's sticking to the bottom of the pan. When you add liquid to that, it lifts it up off of the bottom of the pan, which means to deglaze. So now the pan is deglazed, and you have that flavor getting right back inside of that lobster, and it's not going to be staying inside of that pan where we don't want it. We want it in our belly when we're done. Am I right? So now our lobster is done, and we're going to take that and put it over into our plate so that you can take a real nice look at it. And here you are, your Asian seasoned sauteed lobster. And then we're going to take that and finish it off with a little fresh cilantro for color. And this can be served exactly like this. Again, you can take a little bit of agave nectar and put on top, or you can wait around and come back and see what we're going to do with it next when we get back. Stay tuned.
Fresh thinking is being served at Miami-Dade College. Create your own recipe for success in the evolution of food culture at the Miami Culinary Institute. Learn the skills you need to jumpstart your career in the culinary arts. Turn green into gourmet and celery into salary. Miami Culinary Institute. Food, culture, innovation. Visit us at miamidadeculinary.com. Register now. Miami Culinary Institute.